All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to unpack a famously German concept. You've probably heard of it, but it's often stereotyped and almost never understood for what it really is. A powerful strategic tool. We're talking about Ordnung. You know that feeling, right? When you look at your desk or a project or even just your to-do list and it feels like a bomb went off. You're just crushed. You have no idea where to even start and it's completely paralyzing. We've all been there. Well, there's a German proverb that's basically the antidote to that chaos. Ordnung muss sein. Now, literally that just means there must be order. It sounds a little strict, I know, but in Germany, this isn't just a saying. It's a foundational idea that shapes pretty much everything. And look, when most of us hear there must be order, our brains immediately go to the stereotype, right? Obsessive cleaning, rigid rules, endless paperwork. But what if we've got it all wrong? What if the real power of Ordnung isn't about restriction at all, but about a game-changing philosophy for business built on systems, process, and predictability? This right here, this gets to the absolute heart of it. The whole idea is that a well-ordered foundation doesn't trap you. It does the exact opposite. It creates a stable launchpad that actually frees you up to be more creative, to innovate, and to tackle much bigger problems. So let's dig into the core principle here. We're going to reframe Ordnung not as a bunch of boring rules, but as a real philosophy for growth, both in your career and in your company. In the business world, this philosophy really breaks down into three key ideas. First, a reliable system is always better than relying on one person's last-minute heroics. Second, a repeatable process beats constant, chaotic improvisation every single time. And finally, you want predictability over a never-ending stream of surprises and fires you have to put out. It's all about building a machine that runs smoothly on its own, not just hoping for a miracle. Okay, so that's the big picture theory. But what does this actually mean for you, day to day? Let's bring this down to a really personal level and see how you can apply it to your own work. It really comes down to a three-step mental shift. First, you've got to stop thinking in to-do lists and start thinking in workflows. So instead of your job being doing the task, your main job becomes building a system to do the task. Next, you get laser-focused on repeatability. And finally, and this is a big one, you actively lower your tolerance for chaos. So repeatability is everything. And here's a super simple, powerful rule to live by. The moment you do a task for the second time, that's your signal. It's time to write down a process for it. Seriously, it could be a simple checklist for a freelance project or a little automation script for deploying code. The goal here is simple. Never solve the same problem from scratch twice. And that brings us to lowering your tolerance for chaos. You know how it is. When you're constantly fighting fires, it's so easy to think, I'm not working hard enough. But this philosophy says, hold on, the problem isn't you, it's your lack of a system. When you refuse to tolerate chaos, you're forced to stop just patching up the symptoms and finally go fix the root cause. All right, now let's zoom out. We've talked about the individual, but these same principles are the absolute key to building a company that can actually grow without completely falling apart. Think about it. A company where everyone just figures things out on their own cannot scale. It's impossible. A company that can scale is built on these four pillars: standard operating procedures, or SOPs, so everyone knows the right way to do things; clearly defined roles, so people aren't tripping over each other; a really strong culture of documentation, and systems that are designed not just to fix mistakes, but to prevent them from happening in the first place. And the difference between these two approaches is just night and day. A culture of we just know how to do it is incredibly fragile. All that so-called tribal knowledge literally walks out the door every time someone quits. But a culture where everything is written down and standardized, that's robust. That's how you onboard new people quickly, keep your tech from breaking, and make sure operations run like a well-oiled machine. So when does this stuff become absolutely mission critical? Right here. The jump from 5 to 20 employees is the classic breaking point for startups. All the informal, let's just figure it out methods that worked for a tiny team suddenly don't. They just completely fall apart. Without a foundation of Ordnung, without those systems and processes, this is exactly where companies implode under the weight of their own success. And hey, if you're thinking this all sounds a bit old-fashioned, think again. This German philosophy is basically the direct ancestor of today's most successful business frameworks. A process-driven structure, that's the very soul of Agile and Six Sigma. A strong documentation culture, that's a core pillar of DevOps. And error prevention, well, that's the entire point of things like test automation and ISO standards. Okay, to wrap all this up, I want to share one more German proverb that takes this whole idea even deeper.
way beyond just business and into life itself.
The saying goes, Ordnung ist das halbe Leben, and that translates to order is half of life.
Now just let that sink in for a second. It doesn't say order is the whole of life. It says it's half, and that's the key. The point isn't just to be orderly for the sake of it. The point is that by creating a stable, predictable foundation in your life, you basically take care of half the battle. You build this secure platform that allows the other, much more exciting half of life, your creativity, your spontaneity, your real freedom, to truly take flight. So I'll leave you with this question to chew on. Whether it's in your work, your personal projects, your finances, wherever, where could building just a little more Ordnung actually create a whole lot more freedom for you?